Good morning, one and all. Here we are again, blank piece of paper. What are we going to do? So nice to see you. Thank you very much for joining me on such a lovely sunny day here. And it looks as if it might be, well, it is for those of you that are near me, the same bit of sun. But I hope it is a nice day where you are. And it's far less cold today. It's been bitterly cold wind the last couple of days. So I'm back. Had a lovely weekend with my little grandson, who is quite adorable. So I'm all geared up for loveliness today. And loveliness it is because I've got lots of different things to show you and some really good prices if anyone would like to have a go as well. So first of all, I'm going to bring in some new stamps. They are the new animal stamps from Nellie Snellen, or Nellie's Choice, I should say these days. Someone at the door. Hold on a minute. Can you bear with me? Sorry. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh dear. Just when you get yourself sorted. Sorry about that. Right. And breathe. So, my lovely little animals. Now, there is a selection. There are all sorts. We've got this dog. Now, I have to say, he is gorgeous, but he looks a bit funny on these front stamps because the detail, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today, makes that look blobby, but he isn't blobby at all. We have also got some little chicks, perfect for Easter, and some lovely little bunnies, which is what I'm going to go with today. I'm also going to show you just how to colour them because I thought I keep on showing you how to not colour them. Let's show you how to colour them. So I'm going to be using these, which are Graphmaster pens. Now, these are rather different to your ordinary pens that we might like to use in terms of they are shades of one colour. So if you can see that, you've got, it says WG 0.5, WG1, 6, 8, etc., etc. WG stands for warm grey. So that's going to give you a warm grey type of look, which is perfect for animals and for lots of other things. But in this particular case, perfect for the animals that we're going to choose. So that's the warm. So that's going to give you like a brownish grey, if that's such a thing. And then these are the cool grey, or CG. Okay, so same sort of thing. CG 0.5, CG6, CG4, CG3, and they come in a set of 12 altogether. So they are really good value. They're half price at the moment. And if you do like colouring just a little bit with just a hint of colour and shading, these are your boys. So let's first of all do a little bit of stamping and show you what I mean. I've got a 7x7 card blank there. So that's where I'm going to be working, what I'm going to be working with. And I'm going to take a piece of smooth, super smooth white card because we're using the alcohol pens. This is what these are. No sucking or sniffing alcohol pens, okay? Just in case you were thinking. I will show you how they all work as well, but let me just show you. So I'm going to work with, the bunnies. Tell you what I will do is just cover my work before I put it on there. Oh, get it around the right way because I have been using him. And I'm going to pop it right sort of in the middle there because I want to cut it out with a circle. So I don't want to risk putting it too close up to the top there and not being able to do that. So because I'm using alcohol markers, I'm going to use my Memento with my name on in case I forget my name. Memento Tuxedo Black. I normally would use for stamping my VersaFine, but because I'm going to be working with alcohol markers, I need this one instead. So let's just pop that on there. You can see already what a beautiful image that is. It's really, really lovely. So whilst I'm at it, let me just show you. Take the bunny off. Pop that to one side. I'll just show you how well these stampers work, because I don't want you to think, whoops, I don't want you to think that, hold on a second, that just by looking at these, that you can't see how well they stamp out. So here's the little chicks, which the card design that I'm going to do would also work so well. I mean, you might want to do them in a slightly yellow colour, which is why I haven't picked that today. But look at them. Aren't they cute? Imagine them all in a little bit of very pale yellow. And the dog. Let's bring in the dog down here. So just stamp him up. So I'm just showing you how they work, but let's get on to grips with that. And you can see all the detail in that little boy. Yeah? So that's the actual stamping. Okay, so there are a couple more in the same frame working with. Let's clear the decks a bit. And I just want to show you, if you're not into colouring, these stamps are just ideal for it, in as much as they are already detailed. I'm going to bring in the camera a bit closer so that you can really see what I'm doing here, like that. So the detail is already there. And what I mean by that is, here we've got a lot of white space, yeah, where there doesn't need to be a lot of colouring, but where there is lots of lines, lots of pen lines here, this is where our deeper colours will need to be. So subsequently, how we work with these type of pens is we're going to take the lightest colour, which is the WG05, 0.5, and I'm going to simply take the thick end and I'm going to just colour all of it. So I'm going to layer this with just, so, you know, anyone can do that. Yeah. Just going to layer that all down, lay that down, including his eye, and then turn it round. We've got 2 points on here just to go over. Like that. So that's my 0.5. I will need it again, so I'm just going to pop it to one side. Then I'm going to take my 0.1, and I want, you can see that it's got the two ends there, so I want this bullet point now. And where I have got my darker colours, my lots of lines, I'm going to go in and just scribble over all those lines. Now I could take each one individually and go over them individual, but you know what? We can do it just as well like this. So wherever there's lots of lines is where you are going to go with your pen. So obviously not all stamps work quite like this, but with this selection you have got so much of it done for you. And if you aren't into colouring as such, this is the best way to get going, because you just really are going over the lines. It's not paint by numbers quite, but I'm just going over the lines because they've already been put in there for me. Now I am going to do a little bit of difference when it comes to the inside of the ears, I have to say. So make sure we got the colours. Okay, so that was the WG1. Then I'm going to go up to the number 2. And again, I'm going to take that And I'm just going to go in again over the lines that I did just now and building up the colours. And again, they're perfect for if you just want that sort of bit of colouring. So animals, people even, really, if you're going for that sort of monochrome look. So I'm just going over. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but they do dry. They soak into your paper. So when you're putting them down, first of all, you will get a darker look. So do not panic if that happens. And you don't really have to be thinking about where you're lighting. I'm sure if you've looked into colouring before, you will have looked about, oh, you've got to see where your light source is coming from and all that sort of thing. Yeah, you have. But you know what? Just enjoy colouring, because actually it's not, well, it is rocket science in as much as there is a theme to it all. But if you just follow with such a pattern like this, and nearly all of the Nellie Snellens are like this, with so much pen detail. So I'm just going over where those really dark lines would be underneath their chins. Now I'm going to take my, going back to my WG05 with the big one here, and I'm just going to blend them in a little bit. And I'm purposely sort of missing that centerpiece because I don't want any there. So just blending those lines in. Okay, so I'm going to then take one of the very pale pink ones. Now you don't have to do this, but I just want the inside of his ear. So where I've got all that shading there, I just want to give a hint of a pink. It's almost, and his nose, it's almost not seen, but I know it's there. Can you see that? Can you see what I mean? That's just, you've got the light and shade on there. I've used 3 pens, well, 4 if you count this one. Yeah, and it's just giving that gorgeous little hue. I'll tell you what I need to do is, so you can keep on layering. But, oh, I just love them. They're so cute, aren't they? So cute. Now, I am going to finish this one off. He's finished in terms of painting. I am going to take my WG1 or half. We'll go with a half to start off with. Oh, I'm going to go with that thick line, and I just want to sort of ground them. So I'm just going to put that as if they are actually sitting on something. Yeah. So I'm going to leave that to sort of dry, and you will see a lot of colouring, a lot of the alcohol will soak through. So don't be worried about that. If you use the VersaFine ink to stamp it, you will find that the lines will all bleed, which is why you should go for your Memento or your Archival on something like that. So this is a pigment ink, perfect for watercolouring, but not for these, because it will all bleed. We don't want that. We don't want that. If I just bring in my little dog again here and go with the cool grey, make him into a grey dog, we'll start off with our 0.5 and we will go all over, except we won't go onto the ball. So I'm just colouring in, well, hardly colouring in, are we? Yeah, just giving him some colour to him. All right, so then I would take, let's see, I've got a C3 here. So I'm just going to go in with a slightly dark one. And he has got a lot of lines to him, a lot of fur. So I am just going to go all over where all of those dark lines are. So these colouring pens aren't exactly what you would normally go for, because you would go for colour. You would go for your greens and your blues and your reds and everything. However, if we're going for just shading, a lot of the pink ink stamps and things like that just work particularly well if you're just shading. I think that this works really well. And can you see now that I've just gone over with the one colour? No, I haven't had to be really clever at colouring here. But I've just gone over where there was loads of lines, and already that is, you know, bringing it forward. So I'm just going to blend it in a bit. I'm going to take that little pink, because he does, well, dogs have black noses, don't they? Wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh, just thought about that. Sorry, dog. I was going to give you a pink nose, but you've got to have a dark nose. Yeah. And then I would take sort of like a, let's see, a yellowy colour. That's a bit of a creamy colour. Let's take a yellowy colour to give him a yellow ball. And just, now again, the ball has got all of the colouring, the shading done down the bottom. So I would just go over that bit again and again, just to build that shading up so that you've got as if the light's coming in there, already done for you. Don't have to think about it. I would get carried away, but these would be done in exactly the same way with your yellows. So I would go all over it and then just keep coming back on building up wherever there's shade. Okay, so let's finish our little, I love colouring. I get carried away. Here's my bunnies. Now, as I said, I have already done quite a few preparation bits here. So I want to just bring those forward. So I've already cut out a scalloped circle here, and I've got my bunnies. So this little one was from the nesting circles, the press cut nesting circles, this plain one. And so that's the one where I want to cut out my bunnies. Now I also want, because I thought, well, that would look nice, I've got a little Happy Easter die cut. So I want to be able to position my bunnies so that they are sort of slightly to one side, so they've got enough room to put in my sentiment there. So I think that will do nicely. I should grab a bit of tape to tape that down and then just run that through my machine. Whoops, if I can grab hold of it. I find colouring very therapeutic. However, it's not very therapeutic if it looks like a 2-year-old's done it when you're finished, and then you don't like it. So if you are not very good at colouring, or you are just starting out at colouring, do think about using this type of stamp where it's all shaded already for you, because you haven't got to think about it quite so much then. There used to be some really lovely stamps on the market for little girls. Can't remember what they were called. So yeah. Oh, hold on a minute. I'm just trying to get my pens. Right. There we go. So I just want to stick that onto there. Now, I've chosen some really pretty, paper here from my stash, and I just want to sort of straighten that off really. Let me just measure that. let's see how that fits in, because it's sort of like, it's not bad, is it really? Just take a little bit more. I haven't measured it. You know what it's like. I've got far too carried away with my little colouring. So that's going to go onto the base layer. The colour of this card is called Mocha. It is an old Creative Expressions Foundation card colour. I'm not so sure that they even do it anymore. But that is Mocha. Then I have got myself a piece of card from, oh gosh, I didn't see that on the other side. Oh, I think I've got to go with that way. That's the colour I was going to go with, like that. But now I've seen it that way, it's got to go with that. Oh, it's a shame. Do you find that when it's double-sided paper, that two sides are both the sides that you want to use? Didn't even notice that one until I turned that over. Equally yumbly, though, don't you think? Now, I also have this scrap piece of paper because what I wanted to do was just put a little bit of, let's take that to about 3.5, a little bit of ribbon on here. I wanted to pop that behind there. So let's just see. Pop that there. And then my bunny on the top. But, oops, before I stick that down, I've got a pink bit of ribbon that matches in with here and tones it all down nicely, that I just wanted to pop onto there. So I'm going to grab myself a bit of double-sided power tape, and it's going to be mostly covered. Let's face it, it is going to be mostly covered. Therefore, it's not going to matter too much about where I'm putting my tape and things. But I just thought it would look nice with a little bit of pink ribbon. So I'm going to attach it there. Whoops. Bring it round the front. And attach it on the other side that grabs it. Oops. Trim that away. And then that little bit is going to go into the centre there. Ordinarily, if the ribbon was going to show more, I would have put some of the power tape on the front bit as well. But as my image is actually going to go over most of that, I'm not going to worry so much about that. So my bunnies are going to go there. Gonna have to put a bit of tape underneath that, aren't I? Because you know I can't cope without a bit of tape, so let's just pop that onto there. And I've got a new little tool to show you in just a second. So I ought to have done that before I put the stuff on, really, shouldn't I? But hey ho, let's just go with this. So let's put a bit of that on, like so. Oh, my little bunnies there. Oh, just adorable. Sentiment. Now I've made it, as I said, an Easter one, but obviously bunnies and things like that, they're not just for Easter by any means, but they just fit in quite nicely. And I just happen to have this from an old die set of an Easter basket. So I just thought, let's make an Easter card. And I've got a little ribbon, which has now got ink on it, which I wanted to put there. So I'm going to have to do another one because I managed to get a bit of ink on it. So let me just do another one of those. Just do another ribbon. Oops. This is a bow maker that I got from America about 10 years ago, and it is still one of my favouriteest. And it's called Bow Maker. Oh. Oh. Wait a minute. Keep yourself to yourself. Talk to yourself. And let's do this properly. Pop that into there. That's better. So we've got a little bow, which I will just trim down, which is going to go on there in just a centre. Now, the other little new toy that I have is my gorgeous EasyPick tool. Now, this has just come out from Woodware, and I just love it. It's got replacement tips for it. So this is to pick up your jewels, your little bits of paper, that type of thing. You have got this end, which is your wax, sort of like a wax piece, and that is totally removable and replaceable with these. So that just simply screws on. You have got the other end there for just sort of placement and pushing down and holding it, that type of thing. But it's also like a little score thing. And not least for all, got a bit of bling. I love that little bit of bling there. But the point is, it picks up very easily all of my little pearls, because I just wanted to put some pearls around the edge here. So just, oops, stuck to my card instead. Oh, come here. Just want to pop some of these. I don't want to pop you there though, just stay, thank you. Just so that we've got a little bit of another finish around the edge, and I just think that just looks nice. Yeah. So don't be frightened of colouring. Have a go. You'll never be any good at it if you don't have a go. That's for sure. And if you are tempted to have a go with something that's kind of like, oh, wrong size, that's kind of like easy to have a go at. Don't be tempted to do something for your first time that's really difficult, because otherwise you'll be possibly disappointed and you won't want to do any more after that. Whoops. Oh, no sticky on that one. That won't stick at all, will it? I've got to pick the right sizes. I'm not sure if that one is. Yeah, I think it is. So just picking up all of these with my EasyPick tool and just going all the way around. Oh, love it. Love this one. But as I said, I do love colouring, so I am biased in as much as I enjoy doing the colouring. To be fair, you could get away with not colouring this, or you can grab your ordinary sort of browns and things. It's just a case of, if you're not familiar with colouring, then this might be a good place for you to start. Let's take that off. Oh, no sticky, no sticky, no sticky. He jumped off. And one more. Yeah. And then I'm going to stick it on with this, but I dare say that will fall off. But there you go. There is our little, well, in this case, Easter bunnies, but the point was what I was actually trying to show you about the colouring. So the colouring is already done for you. The shading is already done for you. You don't have to be a good colorist in order to achieve something like this. You just need to be able to get the right pens and do it like that type of thing. And then, as I said, go for the warm grey colours to give you that browny colour. Go for the cool grey colours to give you those grey type images, that sort of thing. And if you need your little tool to pick up all your bits and pieces, this is your man. Or girl, possibly girl, because it's efficient. So I think it's probably a girl, don't you? So there you go. Hold on, I'm just clearing the deck for you. So thank you very much for joining me today, and I hope you've liked the little Easter card there. I will be back on Sunday with some exciting things, all sorts of things. I'm pleased to say that there are lots of new things now coming through. Fortunately, these ships that seem to have been lost at night are now docking as we speak, and so things should start to take a turn for some lovely, lovely bits and pieces. Okay, so if there's anything that you saw today that you feel that you need in your life, you need to just pop over to maximumcrafts.com and you will find all of the items that we've been using today. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day, and I shall see you soon. Take care. Bye.